maji nanywa ya kanjo yako ya chupa za mapambo. Nalipia mtoto wako elimu ya bure ya juu, unanipa ya bure lakini ya utu. Oh no. So nitapata wapi majibu ya maswali? Mahindi lienda wapi? Pia shilingi ya shule za msingi. Paulo mtume, mbona jela usimtume? Lazima abuniwe tume. Lazima abuniwe tume. Mapenzi ndizo hali mabasa tulificha kwa kabati. Kazi kwa vijana, pesa kwa wazee. Tulimangamanga mpaka za maded I say. Lazima abuniwe tume. Lazima abuniwe tume. Oh. Sheria. Oh. Sheria. Sheria. Fuata. Sheria. Sheria. Oh, oh. Sheria. Yeah, yeah. Fuata. Sheria. 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 Oh, oh. Fuata. Sheria. Sheria. Pia wewe mwananchi, tabia zako ziko chini. Unapenda kulipa hongo na kutumia njia za uongo. Una mipango na hata watoto wa kando. Haujui hata majina yao. Kura yako uliuza maini figo, ukakulia hadi dini. Kisha wasema tukuthamini, na wewe hapo hauaminiki. Na wewe hapo haupangiki.
Wapi kidero when you need to slap somebody? Complain ufisadi kwani ulidhani t-shirt 50 bob leso siku ya campaign ilikuwa free? Ni 5 year loan investment utalipa kingia parliament. We are one, amani we are one. Na utumishi kwa wote, utu missing CCTV we were watching. Racial insecurity na job opportunity ni kama mti ya kibiriti. Side moja heavy. Usiniambie Kenya kuna umaskini, kwani hizi fat fingers zinaibia nane? Maskando ina threaten our survival. Media define leadership, na sura ukiaka front page ina improve readership. Ambia wase wa Twitter wa hashtag hii ama hash reality doesn't make a good TT. Commission of inquiry wanakula commission bila kutupa ukweli. Ni kubaya baka kukiwa kuzuri, unashindwa nini mbaya? Machozi ya perpetrator ineza dilute damu ya victim ilimwagika. After all is said and done, all will be said, nothing will be done. You're not my tribe, but you're my blood type. Lakini it doesn't have to take tragedy to know that.
Sheria.
And of course, a very, 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 very beautiful evening to you. How are you doing? How was your day? My, oh my, have I missed you when sitting on this chair? Of course, if you don't know, I was on paternity leave, and the people at Power Radio, fantastic peeps. They told me I need to take my paternity leave. And of course, guys, I can tell you, atulali huko kwetu, but you know, baraka zinakuanga hivyo manze. Ukiombea gari inakuja pia na bei ya mafuta. So uamue, ukichoka utembee, lakini si uliombea. But I'm so happy to be back. Thank you. Now, one of the changes you've noticed if you've been chonjo is that now Sheria Dive will be on Monday and Thursday, 5 to 7 p.m. So it's almost like an evening drive show. So we're going to be giving you that music that just helps you end your day nicely. Sawa sawa, tuko pamoja. But asanteni sana for joining us. My name is James WaNjeri if you're joining us for the first time. And this is Sheria Dive. And this is a show where we take a deep dive into legal matters and questions of happenings in Kenya and what the legal implications of that are. And today we're talking about patriotism, or if you went to a proper school, patriotism. Okay? That is what we're talking about. And we're asking, everyone by now knows that Kenya had a candidate at the African Union elections for the chairman of the AU. And of course, Kenya came number 2 out of 3. So you could say we finished second or we finished second last because there are only 3 candidates. Whichever one you want, we didn't win. That's what matters. And the question you're asking is, those who failed to support Baba's campaign or Baba's candidature, does that amount to unpatriotic behavior? Let's talk about patriotism, because this, since 2024, we've actually had a bit of a tug, a bit of a push and pull about exactly what does it mean, patriotism. And of course, I'm going to be talking about something that the president tweeted about today. We saw in his X account, and whether we are all looking at 2024 the same way. But, you know, we always start this show by giving you some good music. You're probably coming from work, or you've been working from home. And of course, those who've been working from home, I don't know whether you saw JP Morgan Bank CEO talk about how we are no longer going to be doing remote working. And part of it is because he saw people are doing remote work, and then they're in a pool somewhere. They're in a beach somewhere, but with a margarita in their hands. How are you working? The guy said, no, we are not doing that. And maybe you've just been at home all day. Okay, maybe you're on leave. Or maybe you're just at home, you're wondering, hey, when am I getting that job? But you know what? I'm here to make sure you have a fantastic and good time for the next 2 hours. So please join me and keep it here. And of course, you know, I always like to hear what you think and what your views are even on today's topic. But of course, the early bird catches the worm. So if you listen to this now, you actually get to have a chance to give us a song you'd like to listen to. And we're going to be playing it. I'm in the studio here with Flozy, our producer. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take you back. You probably never, you've heard this song maybe, but did you know Eric Wainaina, one of the greatest Kenyan artists and one of the greatest performers in Kenya, teamed up with one Mr. Oliver Mtukudzi and gave us a fantastic song, 2020. And as we usher in the first of Sheria Dive 5 to 7 show, let's 2020. Let's go.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Kuja nami tuungane, twache kuzozana, watu wa upendo, hauna dui, hauna kifani takapata na sabate. Shino narudo kupatana kutitibu dirire, twahitaji upendo ili tusonge mbele, kutambura kwetu zichida hati narudo, ukosefu wa upendo ulete dhiki ya mgongoni twende. Zunguka mbele nasikia uchungu, oyoyo, kiangaishwa, ninalia ukilia dada, chinogu banda, sauti yangu inobuda, maulosua, moyo wangu unorwaza, mama.
As we retire to the southern hemisphere, Jomilambo, mount your horses and get ready. Find your armor, your glig and glawach your molue. And now we're here, ready or not, you're gonna hear us. Wabiro gitonge gokumba wadungremo. Na washika bango mimi nina mpango ya kufanya mambo tukisonga. We're singing songs of freedom to the walls of Jericho. Oh, yeah. Wapiro, nyone. Wapiro kimaino. Nyone. Wadanjoka. Nyone. Wapiro kimaino. Wano wapiro. Ayo. Wapiro kimaino. Jinende wapiro. Ngamodong to chiangongo ayaye chiangongo ngamodong to loro mudo nengano loro mudo ngamodong to chiangongo ayaye chiangongo ngamodong to loro mudo nengano loro mudo obonya chogolo nda magere gigori kogalo managi manene to yamomora winjo wacho pinyi pokondie kochamo obonya chogolo nda magere gigori kogalo managi manene to yamomora winjo wacho pinyi pokondie kochamo kendo poniche wapiro wapiro kimaino ero wadonjo kawo tinende wapiro kimaino matumano wapiro 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 kimaino ero wadonjo tinende wapiro kimaino
Wabiro.
Ayaye chiangongo nengamodong ton loro mudo nengano loro mudo.
That, of course, is Mr. Costa Ojwang. What does Wabiro mean? You know, I've tried to look at this because the Luo is not lugha yangu. Wabiro is the Luo word that means we have come or we will be. Okay, that's Wabiro by Mr. Costa Ojwang. I've just discovered chamo. Chamo means to eat. So the guy has really chamoed that song. He's done a good job on that. Costa Ojwang. Makofi kwako. Makofi kwa wapi? Makofi. Hey! Asante sana. And of course, he's just setting the stage for us as we get into today's show. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what do you remember about 25th of June, 2024? That was the day young Kenyans breached parliament because of the finance bill protests. Now, I came across a very interesting tweet, or rather a very interesting statement by the president. And basically the president was saying that June 25th was a dark day for Kenya. Okay? June 25th was a dark day. But now we have an opportunity to actually do things better. And I thought to myself, by the way, June 25th was actually a dark day, but maybe we are divided on what was the reason for the darkness. Okay? So for instance, one thing is this. You can imagine all the young people who were unfortunately and recklessly shot to death outside of parliament, and they were unarmed. They actually were unarmed when they were going there. But could you then come and say that it was a dark day because people breached parliament? Because from what I see it, actually, I think Parliament is a people's house, and the people should be able to get into the people's house anytime. So there's, of course, that division. But this is what the president said. He said, June 25th, 2024 was a dark day for Kenya, but it also marked the birth of a new beginning. Do you think it marked the birth of a new beginning, especially in government? Because the president fires his cabinet and then brings the same people back, and time and time again, all the changes and all the things we've demanded and said, hey, you need to be able to do this, you need to be able to push things in this direction. That has actually not happened. So June 25th was a dark day because there are people who lost that day whom we'll never find again. But I pray and hope that we're going to keep their memory alive, okay? We've got to continue pursuing a better country for each and every one of us. Tuko pamoja. Apo tuko pamoja. Yes, gentlemen, today we're talking about patriotism or patriotism, okay? Depending on where you went to school. Raila Odinga was a fronted candidate by Kenya to become the chairman of the African Union Commission. Now, that was a candidature that really split opinions. And of course, you'll remember that before Raila, we also had Amina Mohammed, who had also vied and lost terribly as well. But in this case, Raila seemed to have had a lot more opposition compared to Amina Mohammed. And the question I'm really asking us today is this. Do you think it's unpatriotic to refuse to support Raila's bid? And we're going to be looking at the different angles that people had and even what is the feedback that people are giving online. But I'm just asking you, as a Kenyan, do you think as a Kenyan that you have an obligation to support another Kenyan regardless of whether you agree with their choice, regardless of whether you agree with their position? But as long as a Kenya is facing off with someone else, then you must support them. Is that patriotism to you? Or does patriotism mean as well that you can say, no, that man or woman does not represent Kenya for me? That's the question I'm asking today, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on this matter. But for now, let's get some more music as we just try and ease you into your evening. I hope you had a good day, man. And if you didn't have a good day, you're going to have a good evening because you have 2 hours with me, and I'm going to make sure you enjoy these 2 hours. But let me know how your day was. And of course, if you'd like to listen to any song, this is probably around the right time to be making that request for that song. And then when we come back, I'm going to be talking about what are the dailies said about Raila's loss and who exactly is to blame for Raila's loss at the African Union. And ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, Kenya had already panged a bash. Kulikuwa na bonge la bash imepangwa huko Addis Ababa. But it never came to be. Hey, that's life.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Japani mimi najuta balaga nilionikumba mimi nilikuwa naye mchumba ngole itwa Mabroso nilimwahidi ndoa ya kifahari mapumziko yetu yangekweko Mombasa kama ni manyumba na magari ningempa ila siku ya harusi Mabroso kantoroka kanibia hela na vifaa vyenye thamana kapigwa butwa moyo ukanifunguka. Oh Mabroso, mbona umeamua kunifanya hivi mama? Mbona umeamua kuniua mimi mapema? Nilikupenda sana moyoni wewe wajua, kapigwa butwa moyo ukanifunguka.
Hera okdwar koko, hera okdwar chaye, hera dwaro kwe, hera dwaro kwe, hera okdwar koko, hera okdwar chaye, hera dwaro kwe, hera dwaro kwe.
Kesho itakamna nini? Now that uliniachia mkidi, nilijua gaweni mdigidi, basi kudhani itaikuwa hivi. Kono stingy je kwa mimi na Joe spendangi vipindi. Kwa kikao ni vitimbi na uliko kitwa witiki. In the beginning God created Eve to deceive me. Companion sipingi na cannabis ni dingly. Baby yako si mimi na ujieke hizo risiti. Streets zina nikolingi na nikanta ongeza wapili. Squeezy na nyonga neck ya whisky, uski na chapa ndom na ishiki yo na come home sipiki. of course just ishi. Zamani ulikuwa mklingi, saini ningi mingi silly. Yo.
Mapenzi dwaro respect, mapenzi dwaro assurance, mapenzi dwaro endurance.
For real man, for real.
Era and give my best.
Kwani ujui kwa rakati ya shughuli, mina ngoja maembe hivyo ona ikula mbichi na chumvi. Ashiki simu zako, chali yake wa Saudi amerudi. Siamini shida zako zote ni juu ya dema na duri. Stuvai mangwai anadai ni mbaye baye. Time to angodha walai bilai, labda ikiwaka kwa hanging line. Mambo ya magoshodo sidai, niliamua bolungo niangai. Nikiwa na wewe natumia maganji, pesa inabaki maziro baadaye. Ali click na click, ni mimi nilimtoa kwa strict. Picnic tuli take my pics, paka wakadai skade na simp. Jampa ya rongrende ya pink, ya wa sete red trips. Kinembe KJ stink, sikujua dengi ange flip.
Era okdwar koko, era okdwar chai, era dwaro kwe, era dwaro kwe, era okdwar koko, era okdwar chai, era dwaro kwe, era dwaro kwe.
Napani mina juta balaga nilioni kumba mimi. Nilikuwa naye mchumba ngole itwa Maproso. Nilimwahidi ndoa ya kifahari, mapumziko yetu yangekweko Mombasa. Kama ni manyumba na magari ningempa, ila siku ya harusi Maproso kantoroka. Kanibia hela na vifaa vyenye thamana, kapigwa butwa moyo ukanifunguka. Oh Maproso, mbona umeamua kunifanya hivi mama?
It's been a really long time, tangu nikuvutie. I only called today, but I think about you every day. Najua nilichoma, yeah. I take the blame. Juu tangu iyo day, I've never been the same. Find me at B&D of late kila weekendi. Nimekosana na wengi, lakini sisi I'm regretting. I know you know me well, usikate juu niko mlevi. Please don't hang up on me, niache niseme ukweli. I've been upset cause no one loves me better. Hata wanipende aje, na wapenda shingo upande. I know you're upset cause no one loves you better. Hata wakupende aje, utahepa someday. I'm not stalking you, niliona umepost picha za coast. Your new man doing the most. You seem happy, you seem so happy. Called to let you know I'm taken, but available for you. Bestie, we nirudishie phone, cause you don't understand what the hell is going on. Kilimani reminds me I'm alone. Oh, I need to call her now. She needs to know what's in my heart. I've been upset cause no one loves me better. Hata wanipende aje, na wapenda shingo upande. I know you're upset cause no one loves you better. Hata wakupende aje, utahepa someday. I've been upset cause no one loves me better. Hata wanipende aje, na wapenda shingo upande. I know you're upset cause no one loves you better. Hata wakupende aje, utahepa someday.
Reminds me I'm alone. Oh, I need to call her now. She needs to know what's in my heart. Oh, reminds me I'm alone. Oh, I need to call her now. Needs to know what's in my heart.
Of course, that's Mr. Mutoria with Better, which has become such a popular song. By the way, did you know that we actually... Was it Spotify? Spotify actually released some data the other day, and Kenyans are really listening to heartbreak songs. And surprise, surprise, more men are listening to heartbreak songs than women. Ile character development inafanyika kwa hii nchi, ni ya kimataifa. And of course, there was a big heartbreak for Kenya. When Raila Odinga failed to garner the necessary votes to win in the AU elections for chairman. Now, during the elections, which happened on Saturday, Raila led the first two rounds with 20 and 22 votes. But in the third round, Mahmoud, who is the Foreign Affairs Minister for Djibouti, surged ahead in the third round with 23 votes against Raila's 20. And it was at that point that Madagascar's Richard Randriamandrato was eliminated from the round. All right? Now, in the fourth round, Mahmoud got 25 votes and 26 votes in the fifth and sixth, while Raila garnered 21 and 22 votes. Hey, hizo kura tatu za Raila zilienda wapi? There are people who shifted. Now, in the seventh round, after Raila was eliminated, Mahmoud secured 33 votes, clinching the 2/3 majority needed to succeed Musa Faki of Chad. And of course, this was not even the real news. The real news was that every other position in the committees that Kenya vied for, Kenya lost. Kenya lost every single thing they vied for. It's unheard of. And as we talk about intrigues, our southern neighbor Tanzania, hey, they were the first country to congratulate Mahmoud. And this is what they said: on behalf of the government and the People Republic, United Republic of Tanzania, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to His Excellency Mahmoud Ali Yusuf on being elected as the chairperson of the African Union Commission. I look forward to working with you in our collective pursuit of a more prosperous, united, and peaceful Africa. That was President Samia Suluhu. No mention of Raila Odinga was there. So, ladies and gentlemen, kwani kuliendaje manzi? What happened? So, I have seen journalists just try to make sense of what happened. You'll remember that when President Ruto came into office, there was a lot of optimism around his candidature. He was also... he was at the forefront really of pushing for green energy and, talking about things like climate change. And he was talking, I think you remember his first address to the African Union, talking about Africa needing to rediscover itself and, Africa leading the world. And people actually looked at this guy and said, wow, here is someone we have. Of course, the Kenyans here were saying, you guys, we know this guy. Hakuna kitu, but... Of course, you want your president to succeed, right? Because if your president succeeds, then you succeed. If they are failing, then of course, you end up failing because bad decisions just have more consequences, even than the good ones. Now, according to the Nation newspaper, today's Nation newspaper, President Ruto's blunder started at his swearing in when he recognized President Brahim Ghali of the Sahrawi, a country which seeks recognition as an independent nation despite Morocco's claims that it is an integral part of its kingdom. The Sahrawi President Brahim Ghali attended Ruto's inauguration. A few days later, President Ruto seemed like he was rescinding the recognition. This is what he said in a tweet. Tweet, guys! Kenya rescinds its recognition of the SADR, Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, and initiates steps to wind down the entity's presence in the country. However, the president later deleted the tweet and puts one that reads, Kenya supports the United Nations framework as an exclusive mechanism to find a lasting solution to the dispute over Western Sahara. And I remember this time because what happened then is that SADR has always had beef with Morocco because Morocco says, you are part of our country. And SADR says, no, we are an independent country. As soon as Ruto made that tweet about not recognizing SADR, we received free fertilizer from Morocco, which I don't even think was free because I'm sure people actually paid for it in the end. So that was the first test for the President Ruto on international diplomacy. Now, as that drama was unfolding, sources within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs told the Standard off the cuff that politicians have taken over diplomatic pronouncements, sidelining seasoned diplomats. This has now been one of the major things with Kenya, that when it comes to our foreign policy, we actually do not send diplomats to diplomatic stations. Instead, we send politicians. And you'll notice that, for instance, some of the people who were in cabinet and were let go of, they were given ambassadorial posts. What do you know about being an ambassador? What do you know about selling Kenya? Why are we putting politicians there ahead of seasoned diplomats? And Kenya's problem has always been, we actually run our foreign affairs the same way we run our country, where you want to get the most inept, you want placeholders. You just are trying to satisfy a small group of people called the elites and political losers, political election losers. And so you put them there, and that's how you want to run with it. But you can't run foreign diplomacy like that. But let's see. The president, who likes to comment on international matters, sometimes, of course, he does it correctly, to his credit. He does it correctly sometimes. But sometimes it causes deep diplomatic wounds. For instance, do you remember I spoke to President Emmanuel Macron? My God, the whole continent was like, what are you talking about, man? The first person you should have talked to when M23 was getting into Goma and taking over Goma in the DRC was to actually reach out to the president, Tshisekedi, and tell him, hey, nasikia venye kumeenda. Remember that Kenya is actually the chair of the East African community, and Congo is part of that East African community. But what does President Ruto do? He first goes and talks to Macron and says, I've spoken to the big boss and he has said, oh my God, and it just looked bad. Hey, another thing as well has been Kenya's support for Israel over the war in Gaza. Because remember, we have a huge Muslim population in Africa, and the Palestine question has always been a very dicey one. Who do you support in that? But Kenya has always been on Israel's side. As a matter of fact, those of you who are keen readers of history will remember that Kenya never offered any support to those people, to those freedom fighters in South Africa who are fighting against apartheid. Kenya did not. But Tanzania, and this is one of the reasons why Tanzania is very close with South Africa, Julius Nyerere actually offered Tanzania as a place where fighters from the Umkhonto we Sizwe arm of the African National Congress in South Africa could actually go to Tanzania to train. They were training their fighters there. Kenya actually supported apartheid South Africa. And it was only until towards the end that Kenya decided, hey, you know what? We want a free South Africa. Just imagine that. Then, as well, Kenya supported Israel when Israel actually launched an offensive against Uganda, when Idi Amin had actually had a plane held and some Israeli nationals were in Entebbe. You remember the raid on Entebbe, and this was done by current President Benjamin Netanyahu's brother, who actually went to rescue. We call it a rescue, but they refueled in Kenya. So Kenya has always been in a very weird country when it comes to taking positions internationally. And of course, part of the challenge, especially like with Congo, is that President Felix Tshisekedi of the DRC, who is a member of both the East African Community, EAC, and the Southern African Development Community, SADC, retaliated by refusing to grant credentials to Kenya's ambassador, further straining relations. And of course, when President Ruto called an emergency EAC summit on Wednesday night last week, calling on the DRC government to engage directly with all stakeholders in the conflict, including M23 and other armed groups, notably absent from the virtual summit was Tshisekedi. And he said, this is what the press agency reported, the president of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Felix Tshisekedi, will not participate in the virtual summit of heads of state of the East African Community. And of course, that summit was attended by Rwanda's Paul Kagame, who's being said to be a key person in the unrest in Congo. And of course, he's also given his response. But today we're not talking about Rwanda, so we're going to leave it at that. Uganda's Yoweri Museveni was there, Tanzania's Suluhu, Somalia's Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, Burundi's Evariste Ndayishimiye, and South Sudan's Salva Kiir. And they called for an immediate and conditional ceasefire and humanitarian access in Goma. Now, ladies and gentlemen, President Ruto said, President Ruto has had discussions with French President Emmanuel Macron and United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio on the situation in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. So pundits and foreign affairs officials say Kenya siding with EAC forced South Africa to mobilize SADC and ECOWAS countries, including Angola, Botswana, Comoros, Eswatini, Lesotho, Madagascar, Malawi, Mauritius, Mozambique, Namibia, Seychelles, Tanzania, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Benin, Burkina Faso, Cape Verde, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Guinea, Liberia, Mali, Nigeria, Niger, Senegal, Sierra Leone, and Togo to support Djibouti's candidate. And of course, I have to tell you, South Africa was able to actually really influence this election. You will notice that the SADC, the Southern African Development Corporation Executive Secretary Elias Magosi, issued a letter encouraging SADC members to support Mr. Richard Randriamandrato, a candidate from Madagascar, and he was being touted as a candidate from the SADC region for the position of the AUC chairperson during the upcoming elections. So this diplomatic snub highlighted Kenya's dwindling influence under Ruto's leadership. SADC, backed by ECOWAS, rallied behind Djibouti's Mahamoud Ali Yusuf for the AUC chairperson, leaving Honorable Raila Odinga politically marooned. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya has been that country. And perhaps one of the questions has been, did Raila lose because of Ruto? Or was he just never going to win? And I think it's easy to blame Ruto. And of course, he's had his own missteps. But you'll remember as well that several years ago, Kenya had also fronted another candidate, Amina Mohamed, and she was also soundly defeated. Could it be that as a country, we actually are in a space where we are overhyping ourselves, on our strategic power and position and authority in Africa? And could it also be because of the weird positions and sometimes the wrong positions that the country does take? Ladies and gentlemen, talking about the AU vote, and I'm just giving this background because we are driving towards that question. Those who refused to support Raila Odinga, and we've actually even seen journalists going to the ground and just getting some of the views from people. There are people who are celebrating that Raila lost. And perhaps the question is that an act of unpatriotic behavior? Is it unpatriotic to take sides whenever a Kenyan is running for any position and you take the other side? Is that a sign of lack of patriotism? That's the question I ask you. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this matter. But of course, for now, let's get some more music as we get into that evening drive. I really hope aujaka kwa City Hopa ile side ya jua, because bro, kitaumana. Let's go.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Niko na visa, niko kwa simu na nasikia bashi meshika. Je, kuna madem, kuna maniga, maodine wamekuja kuchachisha. Ninajificha, sitaki picha kubabae, sitaki vita, nashikisha na mavela mabichwa, na tukishikwa jo mabel Mona Lisa. Tutoke BND, twende BNB, niko DND, usijam, I will be RB, I will be RB.
Mihadarati zishaanza kunidanganya hadi najishuku sana, zimelipu zimenichanganya napenda vitu si ufanya vile inafaa. Erupog na matin. Eyonaka. Erupog na matin. Abiro kikomando, kiritala jumi niko na mado, wenye vipindi na musonge kando, esima tu sama poso chopo, chololo, chololo. Nobody can party like we do. Wamoke girumba kokwarawe blues. Kinena kalingi kipani ya sim. Meditation yaka bed ni soya design bololo. Anebo che bololo. So please no. Okadwa jo machendo oh bololo. Anebo che bololo. So please no. Okadwa jo machendo oh. Mi hadara decisions kunidanganya hadi najishuku sana. Zimelipu zimenichanganya napenda vitu si ufanya.
Mihadarati zishaanza kunidanganya hadi najishuku sana. Zimelimbu Maximus Ognamatin hey and na Hodong yeah Hodong BNB Nico DND
Mutoto ya Pamela.
I'll be right back. Tell him I'll be woo.
So bubbly nipe mechi hata tupige ka friendly one time nikuonyeshe mapenzi but your auntie hapendi wanati kwanza kiniona anaonanga bangi hata baba yako amenishika mashati ila naomba wewe unipe nafasi yeah the good times are calling why you ignoring don't say you're boring and my heart is ready for you. The fun times are calling. I should be loving you. If I had to, I'm sorry. But tonight I came here for you. And I'm at your doorstep. Niko mavela na zimenishoni wewe. Nitapisha hadi babako watoke. Jusitoki hapa mpaka we utoke, yeah. At your doorstep, niko vela na zimenishoni wewe. Nitabisha hadi babako watoke. Jusitoki hapa mpaka we utoke, yeah.
Pana siko ketepa si ni kuzitoka ni katukomboka mipenda kama whisky wengine mavodka kuna wasopenda miti wengine mogoka na si majabu kiregezo na tokwa usupa leo ni twingi koko chini unakopa look safi ni kari mekuja na chopa miokata na mabanga round ingine na shoka cheki rata safi kwanza nikiwa na Nike aka ni Jose Merindo kwa gami wifi yendo manzu nifanya vitu staki shaji report kwa kilisha jishtaki nataki ya kumshikia kwa maji ka samaki nipunguze wasiwasi ibaki niache kuna nukia na nanasi ama nina nami nikulisha nanasi
I'm at your doorstep niko mavela na zimenishoni wewe nitapisha hadi babako watoke jusitoki hapa mpaka we utoke, yeah. At your doorstep niko vela na zimenishoni wewe nitapisha hadi babako watoke jusitoki hapa mpaka we utoke, yeah.
Well. That's dusted by Mr. Bensol together with 10 Sufuri. You know, Bensol manze. Bensol is that guy. Ladies and gentlemen, as we talk about the AU elections, there's another angle that was actually coming through. And this is, many felt that Raila Odinga's candidature at the African Union was an opportunity by the president, Dr. Ruto, to get him out of Kenya so that he can focus, so that Ruto himself can have a peaceful reign here in Kenya. And there are many people who felt like, hey, that means, okay, if we allow things to go that direction, then you're using, number one, the AU to settle a domestic issue, okay? But number two, then the reasons why you're actually sending the guy out there are not proper reasons. And this was a feeling that was taken up by a lot of people. And Kenyans, even if you looked at the responses after he lost, there are Kenyans who said, it's good that he's lost because what the president was trying to do was to have a free reign here. He's already admitted that the government is involved in the abductions. Government is losing money. Cusco has lost over 13 billion shillings. And ladies and gentlemen, those are SACCO deposits. And I don't know what's going to happen. So there are people who are of the argument that by taking Raila to the AU, it was basically an opportunity for him to say, now I can do whatever I want. And you also realize that the president has been trying to make inroads into Western Kenya and Nyanza, which are considered traditional Raila Odinga strongholds. And there are those who argue that this was being done because he thought, hey, Raila will be going to AU. I have now lost Murima, so let me try and go in the other direction. And so there are those who said, hey, it's good Raila lost because it means Raila is back now. And today, Raila had a press conference and he was talking about government and how we're not taking matters like devolution seriously and all this. And so there are those who say, hey, based on what we see here in Kenya, the AU was being used to deal with Kenya's domestic issues, while what you have at the AU is an African problem that requires someone who is very hands-on, which brings me to my second point. The other point was, Raila is too old. At 80 years old, he's too old to actually navigate the entire continent to deal with the challenges that we have. Remember, countries in the Sahel region, we've had coup d'etats happening in this region. We have war in the Congo. We have war in Sudan. You have the dispute between SADR and Morocco up to the north. Okay, you have the issue of Boko Haram in West Africa. You also have the issue of Islamic insurgency. Okay, down in Mozambique, here in Somalia. Okay, you have border disputes. For instance, we have Somalia here and Somaliland. Somaliland is a country within Somalia, and they've said, hey, we're an independent nation. That needs to be resolved. Okay, you go further down, you find in South Africa, we have all these fight now with the passing of the recent laws in South Africa that allows the government to take over land. So you have a continent that, for all intents and purposes, has a lot of issues, north, south, east, and west. Okay? But then the other point as well is this. Africa's average age is 19 years old. Can an 80-year-old person really be entrusted with the leadership of a continent that is so youthful, a continent that is looking into the future? And as you answer that question, of course, you must also consider the fact that when the Gen Z protest happened, one of the things the Gen Z said is Ruto must go, isn't it? But Raila comes in and does a handshake with Ruto and secures him the necessary support he needs for him to ward off that Gen Z attack. And there are those who felt if Raila has, in their words, betrayed Gen Z, can he be trusted to lead the Gen Zs of Africa? Because remember, with an average age of 19, those are actually the Gen Zs. The Gen Zs of Kenya represent the reality of Africa, that we have the youngest population in these in the world today. Africa is the future. And if Africa is the future, who is the right person to have at the helm of that, even as we look into the future? So there has been a lot to consider in how these matters have been and who is to blame and all this and all that. And the question I'm really asking, and we're going to be answering, is it unpatriotic? And let's talk about patriotism. Exactly what's patriotism? Let's look at a few quotes, okay? Now, Bill Vaughan says, a real patriot is a fellow who gets a parking ticket and rejoices that the system works. Okay? Not the one who gets into his pocket to pay a bribe. Now, Malcolm X says, you're not supposed to be so blind with patriotism that you can't face reality. Wrong is wrong, no matter who does it or who says it. So exactly what is patriotism? I want to help you. I want you to actually help me define what we believe patriotism to be. What does it mean to be a patriot in Kenya? That's what we're going to be talking about when we come back. But for now, let's get some music. It's about 5:57. We have 2 minutes to the top of the hour. I hope wherever you are, you're keeping well and you're doing well. We'd like to hear your thoughts. You can do that on the chat section on YouTube, and of course, even on the socials at Power Radio, at James WaNjeri. And of course, DJ CJ, I see you. DJ CJ is not very happy with these people. And he says, Raila didn't even want to win, by the way. This was just another conduit for government money. I hear only 10 billion. How much was BBI? DJ CJ, always a pleasure to have you listening in on this show. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking out for your comments and your thoughts on today's topic. Is it unpatriotic to be against Raila Odinga's candidature at the Africa Union? Let's go.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
pinyo pongi weche yawa. Lakini wa mosu mokuongo, ani longani onyachi pala. Wodo bongo, woda oko nyakotian. Todo moso costa ojuan kanyo. Hey!
Wanna know I say you do it, no chapera, yeah. Kama mtoto napewa masiwa, wanna know I say you do it, no chapera, yeah. Kama mtoto napewa masiwa.
Another day, another crisis. Keyboard warrior still typing. Mini lava siku hizi spendi fighting. Na maheta hawawezi ntoa timing. Na hata wakinita guide, I know my baby will be by me. Na wakiniseti kwa IG, dawa ya watiaji huwanga silence. Niko sherehe mina vibe, na nyimu nani analyze. Who I wonder why, me I'm just tryna catch a wine. We shughulika na your life. Niko sherehe mina vibe, na nyimu nani analyze. Who I wonder why, I'm just tryna catch a wine. We shughulika na your life. Cheki zangu zime nice. Don't you disrespect my lover. Sina noma my guy. Tonight I don't want no drama. Sina noma my guy. Chaper dongingero anahero gasianda. Sina noma my guy. Leo ni party hadi mchana. Sina noma my guy. Sherehe na piganga na kikosi. Kwa mfuko pesa haikosi. Mademu wananitanga kiongozi. Vile mimi hutesanga Nairobi. Sele zimeripoti. Chini tuko kwa magoti. Akiwewe wewe usinirekodi. Kesho nipate mmesha niposti. Niko sherehe mina vibe. Na nyimu nani analyze. Who I wonder why, me I'm just tryna catch a wine. We shughulika na your life. Niko sherehe mina vibe. Na nyimu nani analyze. Ooh, I wonder why, I'm just tryna catch a wine. We shughulika na your life. Cheki zangu zime nice. Don't you disrespect my lover. Sina noma my guy. Tonight I don't want no drama. Sina noma my guy. Chaper dongingero anahero gasianda. Sina noma my guy. Leo ni party hadi mchana. Sina noma my guy. Sina noma. Sina noma my guy. Sina noma. Sina noma my guy. Sina noma my guy. Chaper dongingero anahero gasianda. Sina noma my guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, hey, we're keeping it nice, we're keeping it easy. I hope you're having a good evening, man. And if you're not, just let me know how I can make it better. So, just let me know how I can make it better. Now, the Standard actually asked two individuals, are you happy with the outcome of AUC election? Now, there's one gentleman called Mr. Frank, who's a filmmaker. This is what he said. He said, I'm impressed by the outcome of the African Union Commission because it has served to teach us as Kenyans key lessons for now and future. First, there's a feeling among the majority of Kenyans that Raila Odinga's bid for the AUC was politically driven to serve the interests of 2027 election. Secondly, it was a clear indication Kenya should relook her foreign policy in a number of dimensions. President William Ruto appeared to have got things wrong from the onset by recognizing Western Sahara as a country and a lack of clear stance in the Israel-Hamas war, where he got Kenya to support Israel while the AU stood with Gaza. Recently, in the ongoing conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Kenya ignored the SADC bloc, which has troops there. Again, while the majority of West African states are expelling French troops in West Africa, Kenya leaned towards working with France. In any case, Kenya was not short of career diplomats to be fielded, but Ruto opted for Raila because he wanted him out of the 2027 political matrix. And I think he raises a key point there about career diplomats. The AUC chair is primarily a diplomat job because you have to go deal with all these disputes, you know, go resolve all these issues that are here and there. And I mean, to be fair to Raila Odinga, how many disputes has he resolved? Like, you just think of a dispute we sent him and he went and fixed it. I really can't think of any. And if there is, hey, I'm happy to learn. You can let us know in the comment section. But is he a diplomat? Is Raila a diplomat? At his core, is he a guy who goes and he'll bring people with different views, bring them to the table? I always feel like he's part of the side that needs to be brought to the table. You know, that has always been him. So is it that Kenya couldn't get a seasoned diplomat to actually take this position? Joy, who's a student, was asked the same question and she said, I'm not happy at all with the outcome of AUC elections held on Saturday in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, particularly because our candidate Raila Odinga lost. For me, it was not just a loss for Raila Odinga, but also for Kenya and the East African community at large. As a patriotic Kenyan, and there goes that word. There goes that word, okay? As a patriotic Kenyan, I feel bad because my country was unable to convince her peers in the continent to elect a respected Pan-Africanist to the position. Secondly, I'm scared that Raila's loss in AUC election will trigger unpleasant political activity in the country. Being a politician who cannot easily be tamed, and given his massive political influence across Kenya, I foresee a scenario where many of his supporters will feel betrayed and cheer him up to dive back into the local political arena. If that happens, the political tranquility that we have enjoyed in the past few months is going to be erased and replaced with high voltage activity that could hold up to 2027. Even if Raila chooses to lie low in local politics, that will come at a huge cost to the taxpayer. Where? True words have not been spoken. It seems everyone on different sides of the divide are aware of how a serious problem this actually portends for Kenya. So what do we do? How do we move forward? Now let's begin with definitions of patriotism. Juu hii kizungu sisi tulitengeneza. Tuliletewa hii kizungu, okay? The Merriam-Webster Dictionary describes patriotism as love for or devotion to one's country. Love for or devotion to one's country. What about the Cambridge Dictionary? Cambridge Dictionary says that when we talk about patriotism, it's the feeling of loving your country more than any others and being proud of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if patriotism is a love for your country, does it also mean that it's love and support for your leaders? Does that amount to patriotism or not? Because you'll remember as well, the reason I'm asking this question is, last year after the protest or during the protest, the president came and said people were treasonous. And you know, treason is a high crime, okay? Treason is a high crime, which means if you're being accused of treason, then you don't love your country. You're trying to burn your country, or you're trying to usurp authority or something like that. So there has been this narrative that if you do not support what we are bringing forward, if you do not support what we are suggesting, then you are not a patriot. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, is it unpatriotic to refuse to support the choices of the president or the choices of the political class in your country? Because clearly, to be a patriot is to love your country more than any other and to always put your country first. Hey, I'm keeping my eyes open. I'm peeling these eyes to just watch out and see what you guys have to say about this matter of patriotism and your feelings about the outcome of the elections. Of course, I'm also going to be looking out at what people have been saying online when these results came out. Thank you for keeping it here with me. My name is James WaNjeri here on Sheria Dive. And of course, hakuna kitu inanifurahisha like doing this with you. It's now 6:11 p.m. Let's get some music. And then when we come back, we continue with this conversation. One, Abdallah Kasim. Abdallah Kasim is a donor relations specialist and a former United Nations employee. And in his article, he says, Kenya's failed bid for AUC seat, missed opportunities and missteps. What are some of those issues that he feels led to this failure by Kenya at the African Union Commission. We're going to be looking at some of those things that he's put out there. But for now, let's get some music. Remember, here on Power Radio is 100% Kenyan, 100% of the time. Let's go.
From sunrise.
Yo, nasikia fiti mazee. Unajua ni aje? Sida historia fiti na nasikia fiti na historia fiti na
It's Mikey on this.
Leo nasikia fiti na sidai mambo ya fiti na kila bill nilishalipa na bado nina mkwanja nina kitita. Leo nasikia fiti na sidai mambo ya fitina. Soka kuna drinks come mbili vile inafaa. Leo ni ile siku ya kufeel good. Tom daktari amesema tujitibu. Soma miachilia kitambi tuharibu. Baada ya dishi ni makali na zabibu. Kata maji tukipuliza mawingu. Samabani anakalupita mchinku. Haina worry juu miwani zina tintu. Zimekashika afisa na mapingu. Kuna form na ngoja uitoe ni sign. Niko on na siwezi patikana offside. Piga shot niko umecheki up on site. Toa lock niko unadai kugo inside. Kuna form na ngoja uitoe ni sign. Niko on na siwezi patikana offside. Piga shot niko umecheki up on site. Toa lock niko unadai kugo inside. Nasikia fitina sidai mambo ya fitina. Kila bill nilishalipa na bado nina mkwanja nina kitita. Leo nasikia fitina sidai mambo ya fitina. Soka kuna drinks come mbili vile inafaa. Soft life special London, more life bila kashfa. Gold label ndani ya tumbler, Jose Cuervo ndani ya tumbler. Soft life special London, more life bila kashfa. Gold label ndani ya tumbler, Jose Cuervo ndani ya tumbler. Na niko team mama, sina tialala. Napiga shots kibabwa wino ndani ya big club. Na kila pen meka kando amesimama. Kila bet tuligambo leo imeivana. Hakuna wengna eka kando hizo drinks come. Order drinks straight from Campton na Marezela. Ni sherehe bila scandal ama hiti laugh. Niko genje bila mambo wala fitina. Leo nasikia fitina sidai mambo ya fitina. Kila bill nilishalipa na bado nina mkwanja nina kitita. Leo nasikia fitina sidai mambo ya fitina. Soka kuna drinks come mbili vile inafaa. Leo nasikia fitina sidai mambo ya fitina. Kila bill nilishalipa na bado nina mkwanja nina kitita. Leo nasikia fitina sidai mambo ya fitina. Soka kuna drinks come mbili vile inafaa.
Leo nasikia fiti. And of course, you know, that's the unmistakable voice of one Mr. Chris Kaiga himself. And before that, we had Waire and Atemi. That's a collab you never saw coming, huh? Fantastic song. And Flozy, being a reggae person, was feeling that beat for Waire and Atemi. Na ni hapo tu tutaongea, wacha tufikishe hapo. Ladies and gentlemen, the question I'm asking is it lack of patriotism to support, to actually be against Raila Odinga's candidature at the African Union? And of course, we jump on that quote by one Mr. Malcolm X, that patriotism cannot blind you to the wrongs that are happening in your country and in your society. You can't be too patriotic to actually critique or say, no, this is not the right way to go. Because being a patriot actually requires you to be a critical thinker. You have to be a critical thinker. And to be a critical thinker means you have to be able to dish out the criticism. You have to be able to notice, these are the mistakes we're making within our country. How do we repair those mistakes? Okay? Of course, you cannot just blindly criticize your country or the leadership. You must be someone who is coming in with solutions, who's coming in to say, hey, this is an alternative. This is how things could actually be done better. I was talking earlier about one Abdallah Kasim, who is a donor relations specialist and a former United Nations employee. And according to him, in his article in The Standard today, he says that some of the reasons that Kenya lost the AUC seat is, number one, we have misaligned policies, okay? We are a country that does not side with the oppressed people. We always seem to side with the oppressor, talking about Kenya's support of Israel, for instance. And in conflicts in the region, Kenya has failed to be neutral. Okay? And when it comes to resolving disputes and resolving issues, neutralism is something that you must learn to do. You must learn to be neutral, especially when you've been put in a position where you can be part of the solution. And of course, the global south, and this includes Africa, Latin America, and also parts of Asia, we have always been anti-imperialism. The global south believes that, hey, tumechoka kukaliwa. And so there's been a call for economic and social freedom. And to President Ruto's credit, he's actually spoken about this. And I even remember the times he used to speak against the use of the dollar, saying that, that's holding African countries back. However, we also still seem to have a lot of affinity for the West. We like to cozy up to the West. You remember President Ruto sitting in the Oval Office in Biden's chair with Biden behind him like a very proud grandpa. Oh my God. Imagine, you can't be on one side. You can't be on one side. You're against imperialism and, the Western agenda of keeping African nations down. And then you're cozying up to the same people. But also, let's talk about inclusivity. Abdallah Kasim says that Kenya has had a culture where we're not very inclusive, even within our own country. And we know some of the challenges we even face here in Kenya have to do with, a government or a policy that does not look at inclusivity. But there's something he said that actually caught my eye. He says, beyond these issues, a pervasive culture of arrogance among some Kenyans has further strained relationships with neighboring countries. Social media has become a battleground where Kenyans often troll their neighbors using unbefitting language against Tanzanians, Ugandans, and others. This behavior does not encourage friendship or cooperation. Instead, it fosters resentment and division. With the economic and social power that Kenya wields in Africa, humility is essential. Kenyans must recognize that their strength should be a source of inspiration and support for their neighbors, not a reason for condescension. Okay? Tunaingilia watu sana manze huko online. Tunatukanana vibaya sana and it is not nice. It is not nice and we need to actually do better with our neighbors. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you ask me, I do not actually think that failing to support Raila Odinga is an act of betrayal to your country. No. This was a political decision made. I think we would have a better chance with other candidates. I think this is actually an opportunity as a country for us to say, hey, our foreign policy is in shambles and we actually need to change this thing. The idea of taking failed politicians to ambassadorial posts, that cannot be the way you actually run. And you'll actually notice that last year, Kenya finally developed a policy for its, its foreign policy. All these years, man, we've just been operating at the behest of what does the president think that is a decision you're going. But perhaps the other thing also is, could it have been better if the president didn't actually was not the face of these campaigns? Because that has been a challenge, that you have someone who's wildly unpopular trying to get someone popular elected. And it comes with those changes and those challenges that it comes with. And that then becomes a problem. I think Kenya has an opportunity now to say, hey, this went the way it went, but we are Kenya. We can actually be better. We can do better. What are some of those things we need to do? What are the changes we need to see? Guys, I've always said this on this show. When it comes to the current administration's ability to look into the mirror, see their own mistakes and change, I have no hope in them. Completely zero hope. I actually do not think we have a leadership in this country that is willing to look into the mirror and be self-critical and make the decisions that need to be made, which means that change will have to be led in the grassroots. The people have to be able to come and say, hey, as a people, as Kenyans, this is the move we want. This is how we want things to be done. And one of the things that I think has worked well for us is the Constitution has actually given us a lot of those opportunities to say, hey, this can be done. Let the people participate, okay? Let the people be at the front foot of their own governance. Because without that, then who are you running the country for? Because the country should always be run by people who want to make it better for the citizens in the country. And of course, you have to remember that patriotism is listed as a core national value and principle of governance. It has been very hard to be patriotic as a Kenyan, especially when it comes to the government. Kenyans love Kenya. We love that bracelet. Anywhere you walk all over the world and you see that bracelet, it fills you with a lot of pride. Okay? Anywhere you go and you find we have Kenyans participating, let's say in the athletics, in sports, we always root for our guys. And I think this time was an opportunity actually for us to say, hey, wait a minute, maybe there's something here. And always remember, the president is a symbol of national unity. So this would have been a perfect opportunity for him to come in and say, hey, you know what? I think we need to reverse gears here. We need to be able to do something a bit differently. And this is how I think it should be done. As I always say, the current administration has always received an opportunity for a national conversation. And unsurprisingly, they've always turned it down. I hope that this time would actually be better. We meet the moment, we seize the moment, because this is a great country and we want to see this country work. This is a country where you can have dreams and your dreams can come true. Now, we just need to do the hard work of making that even a bigger and a better reality, noting that Africa must take advantage of the fact that we're going to have the youngest population in the world, which means if we're talking about industrialization, it's time to bring industrialization to Africa. That is the real act of patriotism. When we come back, we talk about what real patriotism looks like in the context of Kenya, even as we get into 2025, which I think will be such an epic year for the things that will be happening in this country, because the winds of change are here. And boy, oh boy, you better get ready to move in the direction of change.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
This is Hendrix Sound.
Halo, halo, nimekuja na tangazo. Muoneni kwa macho. Ameifunga milango ya roho yangu mama. Girl, I wanna show you off, show you off, show you off. Unawa finish kumalo. Girl, I wanna show you off, show you off, show you off. Unawa finish kumalo. No, 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 no. Roho zimegongana. Ini ajali ya mapenzi. Si tulishapendana, ananienzi na muenzi. Alivyoumbika mashallah, katoto kanyota yani star, kanaleta mwangaza, sitaki kupoteza magita, wacha niringie dunia. Halo, halo, nimekuja na tangazo. Muoneni kwa macho, ameifunga milango ya roho yangu mama. Girl, I wanna show you off, show you off, show you off. Unawa finish kumalo. Girl, I wanna show you off, show you off, show you off. Unawa finish kumalo. Mapenzi yameja kwa hewa, zimatana upunguze esi. Ni nani aliyekukera? Anaishi wapi nimtumie jeshi? Liapa sitapenda tena, lakini leo nafungua kesi. Songea karibu upesi, sensi jukati yetu kuna 0 sentimita, hakuna kilomita. Kiuno chako kinanita naitika, moyo wangu sinyorita. Kati yetu kuna 0 sentimita, hakuna kilomita. Kiuno chako kinanita naitika, moyo wangu sinyorita. Halo, halo, nimekuja na tangazo. Muoneni kwa macho, ameifunga milango ya roho yangu mama. Girl, I wanna show you off, show you off, show you off. Unawa finish kumalo. Girl, I wanna show you off, show you off, show you off. Unawa finish kumalo. Lando kwaro abebe wangelero kwaro iromo dendo ya wamayo iromo pako ya wamayo imi adhi ongora ya wani mi ala ongora tombo girungu nyocho luisa tomano kumarungu nyocho luisa umine ukinyo wachilavu we masando ya kama ukara chonyo ni wachilavu miya mumumudo kama umina chibela wachilavu we masando ya kama ukara chonyo ni wachilavu miya yoro mudo kama Wakaribisha ndani ya kodong usikute vitu bila kondom kuna champagne for the pain top player best in the game kelume dance ongeza mavitu na makudade hakuna masanse kuna masensi kukatana na kukata maji ukialikwa kwa wanati lazima makonking kong jabaranking
On the house, mazadi wamefika, watoto wenye class vile wanachachisha na tukilancheki vile kuna badilika, good vibration na kuna kasirika. Kina mina wamewasha kingdom, samina mina wana waka na kibong. Madoba za kodong clan wana sing along bila thong renderong kwa machom tuko zone. Big tune, big sound tunafinya kama sembe, mix ya dance solo hangla mulembe. Ngoma tamu sana zinacheza kama stenje, tuko disco tumepull up tuko genje. Yeah.
Yes, gentlemen, you know, there's nothing more patriotic, sorry guys, international school guys, there's nothing more patriotic than playing Kenyan music. So, the last segment of this show, we're going to be playing the latest songs that have come out within the last 7 days. And of course, starting us off is Njeri. Njeri had caused a lot of tumult and arguments online, you know, and then everyone was thirsting on her. Then suddenly someone posted a photo with her. Hey, it's like, hey, kunaendaje huku? No wonder men are listening to heartbreak songs. Anyway, Njeri is out with Decide, which was released 3 days ago. Listen to this song and let me know what are your thoughts on it. Na mimi ndawapea tu hapa out of 10. I'll tell you what I rate it. This is Njeri with Decide. Iyo but then naipea a solid 8 over 10. A solid 8 over 10. That's a very nice song. Very nice song. I like it. Okay. Coming up next is Njoki Karu. Njoki Karu is a fantastic artist, fantastic musician, and she comes in with Mwehoko. Hey, I'll be here to tell you what I think. Let's go. Nice song. I'm gonna give it a 5 over 10. Lovely voice. Sounds great, but just feel like something is missing in that song, you know? Can't really place a finger on it. Anyway, coming up next is Brandy Minor together with Ajay of Brooklyn Boys. Navigate. Let's go.
Navigate. Sinanga type, I don't care about your age, but your heart is in it, and you want me to. But utani appreciate, now utani date, so say you could relate. Me want a body I can hold, in a mind that's bold, with a soul that's old. Give me someone that grows my potential, and vice versa. And I need you, and I akona rasa. Me for me, stay. He plays, he be always praying for this, 'cause we need God in those days. We forget that love is a choice when the feeling fades. Love it when it's left, love it when the feeling fades. Love is a choice when the fades. Love it when it's love it when the feeling. That's how we navigate.
That's how we navigate.
That's how we move, yeah.
Ni wewe tunataka baby, hakuna discussions. Achana na promises, mi ufanya action. You my other half, come to complete fraction. Na kupea mapenzi ka the 90s old fashion. I think loving you baby is my new passion. I'm a G but still na kushow compassion. Word ime spread, love yetu imeenda commercial. Maheta wa kibanja tutafanya diro ratio.
Me want a body I can hold, in a mind that's bold, with a soul that's old. Give me someone that grows my potential, and vice versa. And I need you, and I couldn't answer. Me for me, stay. He plays, he be always praying for this, 'cause we need God in those days. We forget that love is a choice when the feeling fades. Love it when it's left, love it when the feeling fades. Love is a choice when the fades. Love it when it's love it when the feeling. That's how we navigate. That's how we navigate. That's how we move, yeah, baby. That's how we navigate. That's how we move. That's how we navigate. That's how we move, yeah. That's how we navigate. That's how we navigate, baby. How we move, yeah. That's how we navigate. That's how we navigate.
You know what? This feels like a song Brandy would have done earlier in her heydays. You know, uko mapema. So I feel like she just releases banger after banger after banger. And then also the tempo is a bit slow. But hey, what do I know? I prefer her bangers, you know? 6 over 10. It's nice, soulful voice, everything good. And of course, what do you expect when you ask a lawyer to rate music? Mupambane na hali yenyu. Next up is Almost 30 by Mr. Davy Wawero and the Proverbial Kiki. This was actually released about 3 days ago. So let's hear it.
Now na life ikisonga, and honestly niko worried, 'cause I'm still in the streets. Na mapenzi yamenoga, naona kimani akona njeri, and I got no one. I am done with being single tonight. So can I get your number? Natafuta wakupenda for life. So sija fall in love, sijapata the one. Maybe you are the one. I'm a little thirsty, cause streets imejaa madam. Vile naona ukikam, nitaanza kuita mama. They call me Mr. Lonely, cause I ain't got nobody. Vile you're looking at me, I might just make you mine. They call me Mr. Lonely, cause I ain't got nobody. Vile you're looking at me, I might just make you mine. Natabasamu ukicheka, baby, I'll smile na need tonight. Fall in love, sijapata the one. Maybe you are the one. I'm a little thirsty, cause streets imejaa madam. Vile naona ukikam, nitaanza kuita mama. They call me Mr. Lonely, cause I ain't got nobody. Vile you're looking at me, I might just make you mine. They call me Mr. Lonely, cause I ain't got nobody. Vile you're looking at me, I might just make you mine. They call me Mr. Lonely, cause I ain't got nobody. Vile you're looking at me, I might just make you mine. They call me Mr. Lonely, cause I ain't got nobody. Vile you're looking at me, I might just make you mine.
I think the bass came too late in this song. Should have been there straight from the beginning. So I'm going to give this a 4/10. Hey, I see why men are listening to heartbreak songs. Hata hiyo manze, Mr. Lonely. Oh, wait. Anyway, let's listen to Sawa by Gwash, also released about 3 days ago. So let's see what Gwash will do. Will you redeem? I need a 10/10, man. Let's go.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up. Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Twende nikopake, okay. Basi simtoke, okay. Kuja kwangu shoke, okay. Okay, sawa. Twende nikopake, okay. Basi simtoke, okay. Kuja kwangu shoke, okay, sawa. Fagia kwako, kwangu kuna carpet. Talent ya kuteka marachet, budget hatuna tuna spend tukiget. Na kuna kusamehea na ball paka rent. Na pesa ya rent nazoza kwa net. Pace ile speed uwezi gauge. Na kuja na shangu kitry joku mess. Siwezi rudi back kama fish. Pesa na saka ni kama na fish. Keja lazima kande ya beach. Wasanii wagenje tunafoto na mabeach. Minavuka mwaka wakivuka bridge. Twende nikopake, okay. Basi simtoke, okay. Kuja kwangu shoke, okay, sawa. Twende nikopake, okay. Basi simtoke, okay. Kuja kwangu shoke, okay, sawa. Bado mimi ndio doctor kidai dawa. Comrades wanadai power. Wengi wananitaka so naigawa. Okay, sawa. Choki medai staga. Blondie, blanda, man anadai kuni mada. Don't touch me ndio amenishika. Don't call me ndio ameitika. Siezi kamse ndio amefika. Ni mdhika kodhika. Twende nikopake, okay. Basi simtoke, okay. Kuja kwangu shoke, okay, sawa. Twende nikopake, okay. Basi simtoke, okay. Kuja kwangu shoke, okay, sawa.
Yo. I feel like the song ended too soon. Hey, there should have been more in the tank right there. Gosh. Anyway, let's go gospel. Let's tuone kama watu gospel watanisaidia hapa. This is Mr. Guardian Angel with a new song with Boss Emoji called Wananiuliza. Guardian Angel by the way alisema story ya kwenda kufanya development huko Ochakwa ni mbali. The wife lives closer to Nairobi, so they'll do the developments in the wife's home area, you know. It was very controversial because people are saying, hey, come on. Mafaa uende ujenge huko kwenyu, but you know what? Wananiuliza. Here it is, Guardian Angel.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Badilisha mtaa music. Wananiuliza mbona napenda Mungu, utanifiaje, utanipendaje? Wananiuliza mbona napenda Mungu, utanifiaje, utanipendaje? Look at me, I'm so beautiful, so wonderfully made. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Amenifanyia so much, I feel wonderfully cared. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Kama si Mungu kunipenda mi, no salvation. Kama si Yesu kunifia mi, no salvation. Wanadamu wana mapenzi chocha, ukisha tumika mapenzi wisha. Wanadamu wana mapenzi chocha, wananiuliza mbona napenda Mungu, utanifiaje, utanipendaje? Wananiuliza mbona napenda Mungu, utanifiaje, utanipendaje? Okay, first off, nimetamani sana kupata nafasi ya kukueleza mbona mimi nampenda. Aliniambia devil na mota atenda, kukila ndesoi wale watu wanapenda. Leo alikuja ili tupate uzima wa milele, kama unanipata nipekelele yake atenda ni kunifanya mimi nifike kilele. Ndo maana nitamsifu milele. Wale wanauliza maswali, wacha nijibu yo maswali. Mimi naye tumetoka mbali, hope nimejibu hiyo swali. Wananiuliza mbona napenda Mungu, utanifiaje, utanipendaje? Wananiuliza mbona napenda Mungu, utanifiaje, utanipendaje? Ambia aliyeniacha nishapendwa, nishapendwa. Ambia aliyeniacha nishapendwa. Wale walinichukia nishapendwa. Tena kila kitu nataka nafanyiwa. Jamani kupendwa na Yesu ni raha. Kupendwa na Yesu ni raha. Wananiuliza mbona napenda Mungu, utanifiaje, utanipendaje? Wananiuliza mbona napenda Mungu, utanifiaje, utanipendaje? John 3:16, boss.
Hey, I just want to say Yesu amecheck in hapo verse 2 manze. We actually didn't even know it was a gospel song until we heard that. But hey, I have to say in studio we are pretty shocked really at this week's releases. Guys, come on man. I think we can do better. Hey, and this is not to disrespect the artists. You guys have done a good job. Maybe also my taste is just poor, you know. But you know what? Just I need to clean my palate. So I want to keep it fresh all day as we bring it to the end of the show. You know, like, oh my God, like, guys, mi nasemanga kuna kitu ili happen a few years ago. Whoever the devil sent to come and take Kampmula away from us, shindwa kabisa. But you've listened to all the songs that I've played here, right? Now, just listen to this and tell me what you think. Because this, for me, is a 10 over 10 song. Here you go.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
I come correct, and yeah, my swag so official like I'm the ref. See, I be rockin' Louis, so shorties wanna do me. Have all these haters feeling so underdressed. I see you mucking me, but I ain't mucking back. Cause I ain't got time for your chitty chat. Why you tryna copy and paste me? I'll be with your broad like butter on pastry. She's on my arm like my Virgin Mary. And we be on that weed from early. OG, smoking by the OZ. And all she wanna see is a couple emojis. Well, I got money to blow. And shorty, I ain't tripping, so you already know. Can't moolah all day. If you want it, gon' pay. Hater, I'm just letting you know that
all I know is swagger, it's swagger.
Me, I keep it fresh all day, it's all cool. Me, I keep it fresh all day, it's all cool.
Put your hands up if you have some.
Cause you keep it fresh all day, it's all cool. Cause you keep it fresh all day, it's all cool.
Okay, my life is not the same, and I know who to blame. If I remember the name, it sounded something like fame. For the money, for the game, I would kill it.
No shame.
Rep a crew that's untamed, and I'm a dude that's maintained. Swagger so right as Frank. Funny Benjamin sitting in the bank. What you think? I've been working hard, numbers agree. So please believe me, this is easy, born to be an MC. So I took one Nairobi, the swagger strong only. 24 hours round the clock, Wani. The Levi store know me. Big up Ryo and Fuzzy. Now I'm fresh all day, Nikki Chapakazi. Boys be looking at P, this ever slappy. Lucy, Kibaki, LOL. Yeah, I'm only messing, I'm just digging the jam. Bumping it with my fam. Chuck Taylor's helping me stand. Let go.
All I know is swagger, it's swagger.
Me, I keep it fresh all day, it's all cool. Me, I keep it fresh all day, it's all cool.
Put your hands up if you have some.
Cause you keep it fresh all day, it's all cool. Cause you keep it fresh all day, it's all cool.
I said we on to be their favorite. Moolah team pacing. Further than the basement, higher than the spaceships. NASA couldn't waste this, rockets couldn't chase this. Swagger on vintage, African Fresh Prince. Flying like the Jetsons, higher than the Jeffersons. Moving on up till they can't get enough of us. Now we at the top, better use your binoculars. Swagger non-stop is what you do if you have some. And I'm just getting started. Ever seen a Kenyan boy trying to go harder? You gotta work for your profit, cause everybody's trying to get paid in Nairobi. I think your swagger need coaching. Fresh all day, it's all cool by the ocean. Swagging down in South Coast, you could say we coasting. High grade glowing, super flowing. Damn.
All I know is swagger, it's swagger.
Me, I keep it fresh all day, it's all cool. Me, I keep it fresh all day, it's all cool.
Put your hands up if you have some.
Cause you keep it fresh all day, it's all cool. Cause you keep it fresh all day, it's all cool. Fresh all day, 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 it's all cool. Fresh all day, fresh all day, it's all cool. Fresh all day, fresh all day, it's all cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of this show. Thank you for keeping it here with me, 5 to 7 p.m. And of course, I'll be back here on Thursday. Same conversation, same time, and bigger and better music. Of course. That's hiyo ni kazi ya Flozi. Nimemrushia hiyo. But of course, see you back here. And of course, remember, we have shows every day of the week. So from morning, we have the breakfast show. Then we have Shivazations. And then I think we have Gift of Gab. Then we also have this show happening. And of course, for the film enthusiasts, we have a new show that's covering film. So please keep it here. And of course, just to wrap it up the entire week, on Friday, we have a show where Bena leads the cast in talking about the events of the week. And of course, we finish it all with Idle Groove by our very own Flozy. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, tuko pamoja. Please be safe, watch over yourself, and I hope you're warm wherever you are. By the way, kumekuwa na joto sana usiku. The government needs to intervene and help us with that. We are sweating too much at night. See you guys. Have a lovely week, and God bless you. Bye-bye.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Tunapita kama moshi na kabla tuzame mchangani, kuna kushinda na kufeli. Inabidi ujijue tofauti ya mwalimu na mwanafunzi ni ujuzi na ujuaji. Oh, it's unbelievable that we make it this far. Undeniable, we see the promised land from afar, and it's so beautiful. No, they can't touch the fire, and you know it's not in vain. Steady dripping through the pain. Oh, man. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Oh Lord, oh Lord, steady rocking on the midnight train. Steady rocking on the midnight train. On the midnight train. Siku zazidi badilika, mengi yazidi kunipita jama. Oh no, maji yalipozidi unga, hawakudhani tutafika. It's unbelievable that we made it this far. Undeniable to see the promised land from afar. So beautiful, they gon' know who we are. They keep on walking in the rain. Kuna blessings in the pain. Whoa. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Steady, ready, 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 ready. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Oh Lord, steady rocking on the midnight train. To Zion, to Zion, Zion. It's on our road to Zion. Nothing will ever deny us. Whatever it takes, keep on rocking. Whatever it takes, keep on moving. To Zion, to Zion, to Zion. Yeah, 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 yeah. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Oh Lord, steady rocking on the midnight train. To Zion, to Zion, to Zion, to Zion. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Oh Lord, steady rocking on the midnight train. To Zion, to Zion.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night.
Power Radio.